Top 10 deranged cult groups that are still active. Cults have long fascinated people worldwide with their strange beliefs, secretive practices, and often dangerous and destructive behaviors. While many cults have faded into obscurity over the years, many groups are still actively operating today, with a wide range of beliefs and practices that can be both intriguing and disturbing. Stay till the end, because in a minute, we will explore the top 10 disturbing cult groups that are still active, taking a deep dive into their origins, beliefs, and practices. Let's get started. Number 10. Children of God. The Children of God, also known as the Family International, is a religious group founded in the 1960s by David Berg. The group began as a Christian commune, but quickly developed into a cult-like organization characterized by sexual abuse, child abuse, and a wide range of other abusive and controlling behaviors. The group's teachings were highly focused on Berg's interpretation of the Bible, which included a heavy emphasis on sexual liberation and the idea that all sex was permissible and even encouraged. This led to the widespread sexual abuse of children within the group, with children as young as 3 years old being subjected to sexual exploitation. The group's members were also subjected to various abusive practices, including forced labor, physical punishment, and brainwashing techniques designed to control their thoughts and behavior. Despite widespread criticism and abuse allegations, the group continues to exist today, albeit in a much smaller form. Number 9. Heaven's Gate. Heaven's Gate was a religious group founded in the 1970s by Marshall Applewhite and Bonnie Nettles. The group was characterized by its belief in UFOs and extraterrestrial life. Its members believed they were living in the end times and needed to prepare for a journey to a higher plane. In 1997, the group made headlines when 39 of its members committed mass suicide to reach the supposed UFO following the Hale-Bopp comet. The event was a tragedy that shocked the world and drew attention to cults' dangerous and destructive nature. Heaven's Gate was characterized by its strict control over its members, including strict rules about dress and behavior, as well as the use of brainwashing techniques to control their thoughts and beliefs. The group's teachings were highly focused on leaving behind the material world to achieve spiritual enlightenment, and its members were willing to do whatever it took to reach that goal. Number 8. The Nubian Nation. The Nubian Nation is a controversial and highly secretive cult founded in the 1970s by the self-proclaimed Messiah, Dwight York. The group is known for its highly unorthodox beliefs of African and Egyptian mysticism, UFOs, and conspiracy theories. The group's members are subjected to strict control over their thoughts and behavior, with many being forced to live in isolation from the outside world. The group is also known for its history of violence and abuse, with many former members accusing its leaders of physical and sexual abuse. In 2002, the group's compound in Georgia was raided by federal authorities, and York was arrested on charges of child molestation and racketeering. The Nubian Nation's history of extremist beliefs and violent behaviors has made it one of the most disturbing and dangerous cults in recent history. Number 7. The 12 Tribes. The 12 Tribes is a widely known cult by many people. Their practices, particularly their approach to child rearing, have attracted a lot of controversy and scrutiny over the years. The group's founder, Gene Spriggs, believed that the Christian church had become corrupt and that a new, more authentic form of Christianity was needed. However, his interpretation of the Bible is very literal, and the group's beliefs and practices are extreme and controversial. One of the most disturbing aspects of the 12 Tribes is their approach to discipline, particularly regarding children. They believe in strict discipline, which often includes physical punishment, such as spanking and hitting with rods. This kind of behavior is widely considered abusive and harmful to children. The group also encourages child labor, with children as young as 5 years old expected to work alongside adults in the group's various businesses and enterprises. This kind of exploitation of children is completely unacceptable and has been the subject of much criticism and concern. The group's approach to gender roles is also very strict, with men and women expected to conform to specific and traditional roles. Women are expected to be submissive to men and are discouraged from pursuing higher education or careers outside the home. This kind of sexism is completely out of step with modern society and unacceptable. Number 6. Aum Shinrikyo. The Aum Shinrikyo, a Japanese cult that gained notoriety in 1995 when they carried out a deadly sarin gas attack on the Tokyo subway system. Founded in the 1980s by Shoko Asahara, a blind former yoga instructor, the group blended aspects of Buddhism, Christianity, and Hinduism into a bizarre and often violent belief system. Asahara claimed to be a reincarnation of both Jesus Christ and the Hindu god Shiva. He convinced his followers that he had supernatural powers, including levitating and reading minds. The group was obsessed with the idea of an impending apocalypse and believed they were the only ones who could survive it. They stockpiled weapons and built a compound in rural Japan. They carried out several bizarre and often brutal rituals, including forcing members to drink their urine and participate in orgies. The 1995 sarin gas attack was carried out by cult members who boarded several trains during rush hour and released the toxic gas, killing 13 people and injuring over 5,000 others. The attack sent shockwaves through Japan and the rest of the world, making a turning point in how the public perceived cults. Number 5. Ridge Niche Movement. The Ridge Niche Movement is another cult with a troubling history. Founded in the early 2000s by a man named James Arthur Ray, the group was focused on the principles of manifestation and quantum spirituality, which they claimed could help members achieve success in their personal and professional lives. Ray, who had appeared in the popular self-help film The Secret, was seen as a charismatic leader and guru, and he charged exorbitant fees for his seminars and retreats. However, in 2009, tragedy struck when Ray led a group of followers on a sweat lodge retreat in Sedona, Arizona. The lodge was intended to be a spiritual and physical cleansing experience. Still, it quickly became a nightmare when several participants fell ill and 3 died from heat stroke and dehydration. The incident led to Ray's arrest and eventual conviction for negligent homicide, which cast a harsh light on the dark side of the self-help industry. It also highlighted the dangers of charismatic leaders who prey on vulnerable individuals, promising them success and enlightenment in exchange for their obedience and loyalty. Number 4. Church of Almighty God. Next is the Church of Almighty God, a Chinese Christian cult accused of various illegal activities. The group believes that their leader is the second coming of Jesus Christ, and they claim that the world's end is imminent. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. The Chinese government has cracked down on the group in recent years, but they still have a significant following in China and worldwide. Their tactics include kidnapping, brainwashing, and even murder. In fact, some cult members have been known to target people they consider evil spirits and kill them in the name of their twisted beliefs. Number 3. The Order of the Solar Temple. Moving on to Switzerland, we have the Order of the Solar Temple, a cult founded in the 1980s by a group of wealthy individuals who believed they were the reincarnated Knights of the Crusades. The group's leaders claimed to have access to secret knowledge that would help them survive the end of the world, and they convinced many of their followers to commit mass suicide in the 1990s. The group is still active today, but they have been largely discredited. It's hard to imagine how someone could be convinced to take their own lives in the name of a group that's clearly delusional. but that's the power that cult leaders can wield over their followers. Number 2. The movement of the restoration of the Ten Commandments of God. Heading over to Uganda, we have the movement for the restoration of the Ten Commandments of God. This cult claimed to be the one true church of God, and they believed that the world's end was imminent. The group's leaders convinced many of their followers to sell their possessions and give the cult the proceeds, promising they would be rewarded in the afterlife. In 2000, the group's leaders ordered the mass suicide of over 500 of their followers, locked inside a church that was set on fire. The tragedy is a chilling reminder of the power that cult leaders can have over their followers and the deadly consequences that can result from blind faith. Number 1. The Brethren. The Brethren, also known as the Garbage Eaters, is a secretive and highly controlling cult that was founded in the 1950s in the United States. The group is known for its strict control over its members, including their thoughts, behavior, and access to information. Members of the Brethren are often isolated from the outside world and subjected to intense brainwashing techniques in order to keep them loyal to the group. The group is also known for its history of physical and sexual abuse, with members being forced to engage in forced labor and other dangerous and exploitative activities. The Brethren's highly secretive nature and extreme control over its members have made it one of the most disturbing cults in modern history, with many former members speaking out about the group's abuses and destructive behaviors. The stories of these cults are truly disturbing, and they warn of the dangers of blind faith and the power of charismatic leaders. While some of these groups have been disbanded or discredited, many more continue to prey on vulnerable individuals in search of meaning and purpose in their lives. It's important to be aware of the warning signs of a cult and to steer clear of any group that demands blind obedience or tries to isolate its members from their families and friends. By staying vigilant and informed, we can help prevent the tragedies that have befallen so many cult members in the past.